We walked.
Horses are a big investment.
We have stables. We have carts. It looked like Susan was carrying quite a lot. Could have taken a cart. Seemed like it could have avoided this whole mess.
Beatrice just kind of shrugs her shoulder and rolls her eyes and just like, yeah, well, hindsight, and just walks away.
I don't think rolling a cart through there would have made those plants any less angry.
While
Professor Hethspa walked up. I'm sorry, go for it. I'm sorry.
While everyone's talking about horses, Sunny's been trying to do this for like 2 months. Kind of behind her back, she casts Mage Hand and tries to pick the pocket of Professor Serini.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to make some.
That is a 23.
I rolled a 3 plus 3, so that's a 6. So she is not paying enough attention because she rolled the 6 for perception. So you succeed. What are you trying to grab? The coin purse that's not a decoy this time?
Yeah, the coin purse. Same thing as before.
Okay. You pick up a coin purse. You open it right away?
Yeah, I'll do it like really obviously too. No, I start rummaging around in it right there.
Really obviously.
Yeah, like holding it up so that it's pretty like noticeable too.
It's there's 12 gold in it, and also a handful of buttons and some skeins of yarn, some very small skeins of yarn, more like scraps of ends, loose ends of yarn. She rolled 16 in perceptions. Like, stop that! But I cut you last time. Kind of snaps that, or tries to snatch that back from you. What would be trying to take that back from you? Or would that be like a...
Is that just dex?
Contested, I don't know, like contested sleight of hand.
Probably,
checks? Or,
probably, yeah,
just
contested
dex
sleight of
checks.
hand, or, yeah.
Let's just do contested sleight of hand checks.
Okay, what is contested?
And that's a 16.
Your DC is their
And
roll.
you also roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay, 17.
And mine was 19. So she swipes it back from you real quick. Stuffs it back in her belt.
While this is all going on, Bequest starts looking around trying to find the owlbear Gary they just met. Do they see Gary around anywhere?
Oh yeah, Gary is over at Mirror, kind of putting on some last-minute makeup, kind of readjusting her little, beehive wig and kind of straightening up her dress. It's like, oh hey, hon, how's you doing?
Bequest just kind of slides up and like, oh, hey, Gorge. So, you seem to be in the know. What's the deal with the angry bushes and some other things you mentioned going on? And what's up with Priscilla?
Oh, well, I don't really know what the deal is with it or anything per se. I just, know that, Priscilla's had some bad news recently and been having a hard time and been busy with this, that, and the other thing. And I think she knows that there's a problem, but has been busy. And I just would say, for her sake, don't say anything, is all I was trying to say.
Oh no! You can tell me whatevs. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Just what's just wondering what was going on with these angry plant people.
I guess they just started showing up a couple days ago, really. And that's about all I know. Kind of, some of them are hard to see until you get real close, and then they kind of spring up. They look like just a dead bush, and then you get too close and they swipe at you. And other than that, I don't really know.
What was with that bear trap? Was that yours or someone else's? Anyone know anything about that?
Yeah, that's unusual too. People don't really hunt around these parts. It's not really right. It's not natural. It's I don't know. It's not the thing that's really the usual goings on around here. I think it's the first time I've ever seen a bear trap around these parts.
Have you seen anything else weird besides those two weird things?
Just some of the drag performers, but they're all right. Speaking of which, are you interested in entering the catwalk later?
Yes. Instantly, Sunny says yes.
Yes.
That's great. I'm going to be doing a
I
number
could
soon
do
on
the
that.
catwalk, or I can provide the music for the catwalk, or both. Can I do both? I'll do both.
Can you do both? That sounds impressive.
I would request the song be Right Said Fred.
Some music actually is starting to bump at this point.
Okay.
And some of the professors start to walk around where y'all are kind of gathered around to. Gary is kind of sitting at this makeup vanity table and kind of together a last minute ensemble. And Professor Hethspa and Professor sorry, that's not right.
Club is the best place to find the lovers at the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start the conversation.
Professor
By the way-
Hethspa and Professor Quick and Professor Goodbody. Sorry. Brooke was saying, by the way, something.
Oh, yeah. I just thought it was funny. I figured I'd point it out since there was a lull in the conversation there for a moment. The boxes for the Discord are both theys, then both he's, then both she's, then both AI. I just thought that was funny.
So yeah, a few of the professors kind of pick up this big jug that they had unloaded from their car, and two of the kind of short, elven-looking male kind of the assistants to Priscilla are kind of dressed in these chaps and vests that are kind of made of stitched together leaves, and they are passing around little cups on silver platters, and the professors are kind of going around with this jug and refilling cups as they go, and they reach the vanity table where Gary's finishing up her makeup for her performance. Gary's like, oh yes, thank you. Just right there, sir, thank you. And one of the butlers takes off a card, kind of puts it on the vanity there, and kind of presents y'all with the plates of these cups. Silver platter.
I'll ask what that is before I take one.
He just downs it.
Yeah, while you're explaining it, I'm grabbing one.
Pretty much same.
I didn't set up the first was none. I think it's Professor Hetzba, the one who was cosplaying as a cultist during the entrance dance. It's like, oh, it's a special potion that helps you see things and helps you feel things. It helps you really keep the party feeling alive.
I like seeing, I like feeling.
Got it.
So-
We're doing ecstasy.
So it's not booze.
Oh no, I mean not. It's not alcohol. No, but it's. He says these days, oh, it's lit fam.
I just imagine it being like, it gives you like third eye passive perception.
It's a little early for me. Is there actually any booze here anywhere?
There's, I think, the music kind of needle scratch for a second. The butler who's holding the tray kind of looks at you, and Gary, who's kind of applying lipstick, kind of spreads lipstick all the way onto her cheek while looking over at you, and like literally everybody at the party just looks at you.
After I do the drink,
The butler's just like, yes, babe. Over there.
after I do the drink, I'm going to get out my disguise kit and start doing my makeup. Just so that I'm ready. And my entertainer's pack also came with 2 costumes. I'm going to put on some kind of costume for it. Instead of my traveler's clothes.
And I'll head over to the bar and just start drinking stuff.
Bequest is gonna cast Disguise Self and turn their head into like a very furry unicorn head, but just the head, so it's like still regular body, but just like head. For the next hour, Bequest is just a furry unicorn head person.
You're the person at the party with the horse mask, but
So you
you
look
got a
like
horn.
one of those head costumes.
Yes. And actually talking, the mouth will move because
Yeah.
Everybody make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. Ooh, Ricky didn't roll too good.
14 plus or minus what? 1.
18.
18.
7.
Yeah,
Total of
Ricky
15.
Ricky rolled a 6.
So what now? I don't think I caught Ricky's or Manu's.
Oh. Yeah, Ricky rolled a 6. 6.
And Manu?
I got an 18.
So, Sunny and Ricky, y'all are kind of immediately floored a little bit. Not floored as in like on the floor, but like kind of immediately like down the drink and he starts to whoosh around and like the people that are kind of standing around you kind of start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, it started a lot of like looking at the things like I haven't even considered. I'm gonna contemplate my navel for a minute. Come in the morning, it's basically just not that long at this point that y'all won't remember anything about this night.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that your fingers move on your hands? Ricky's just like moving
they do
each of
that.
his fingers individually.
And they do that with no muscles in your actual fingers. It's all operated from your wrist.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wait, hold on. Sunny casts Mage Hand on her own hand. Oh my god. I just...
Whoa. What even is a hand? Really?
Miserable pile of flesh.
Whoa, man.
I think Gary is just looking real intense, just like getting the last bit of her eye makeup on, and then like just looking in the mirror, just like, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, I better do my performance soon. Oh boy. Okay, tell everybody I'm gonna do my thing before it's too late. All right, tell Priscilla, tell Vanilla, I'm gonna do my thing. Oh, I can do my thing. And I think the music, DJ starts to kill that music, and Gary goes up on stage to do her little bit. I'm going to play that.
Be right back.
Oh.
So there's Gary up there on stage, bugbear in fabulous makeup, beehive, wigs on wigs on wigs, just stacked up. Just like makeup across the beak, across the feathers, beautiful black sequins dress. And her song, it starts, almost a sad sounding ballad of sorts. But it kind of has, as it goes along, it kind of builds up a crescendo from less of this melancholy and introspective, like sad feeling, and more of this like empowered and self-assured, and like the tone gets campy and silly, and some of the other guests start popping out in the sides of the wings to accentuate certain notes to really get into the vibe of his performance, and it's just like the crowd is just really eating it up, and just like it just starts building, just like more and more intense, just like, and that voice just like through the crowd. It's a beautiful sight seeing this bugbear, just self-assured, bugbear just self-assured and beautiful in resplendent feathers and sequins and stacked wings and being owlbear, what an owlbear is. Just glorious there on stage, just doing great numbers.
So beautiful.
It's the end of that number. Being y'all to locate another Constitution Safe Row.
Okay. A little bit better this time.
Because got 14.
Ricky rolled a 9.
Tegan got
20.
12. Oh, wow.
Manu got a 13.
He's the only one that failed.
I think that was everybody, and Sunny and Ricky didn't need to roll, but what was Manu and Tegan and Ricky again? I think that was all technically successes.
Yeah, Ricky rolled a 9, although I guess he didn't need to roll again.
Yeah, sorry, I meant Bequest, Tegan and Manu.
Bequest rolled 14.
And Tegan was
I'm
12.
sorry, did you say 14?
Yes.
12, 14, and Manu.
Manu got 13.
Okay, all y'all was technically a success, so you don't black out in the night yet, so come the next day, you still have memory of this part, but that doesn't mean you're not escalating from
Oh yeah.
an elevation.
I am waiting for my runway while playing music, while on ecstasy.
Oh. Yeah, Ricky, if there's no one actually going up next, walking
I think,
down the runway already. Sorry?
So Gary is getting off stage. Gary's coming off the stage now and rejoining you. It's just like,
Oh boy, I didn't know if I could do that. Boy,
You were
what did you think? Was I
fantastic.
good? I was so nervous.
Good, you were great! I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life.
It was very impressive.
and I think it's at that time Needle scratches again, and there's announcers like, okay, it's time for the catwalk. Anybody who's interested in signing up for the catwalk, step up right now. And people start queuing up to the backstage area where Gary just came from. Were any of y'all serious about participating in that, or y'all just gonna avoid?
Oh, I will.
Yes.
Ricky will join them.
Like I said, I got out my disguise kit to do my makeup up. I got out one of my costumes. I'm imagining something like a very, very loudly colorful version of like a clubbing dress, where it's asymmetrical down, maxi skirt on one side, mini on the other.
Quest Mounter, you're joining in the fun at all? You're just gonna sit in the crowd?
No, I am simultaneously not drunk enough for this, and then I will be too drunk to walk, so I get out of it either way.
Quest is too busy eating and flirting with Susan Crushbone to even really totally pay attention to what's kind of going on.
That's against Academy rules.
I think Susan Crossbone is I think Susan's okay, hunky, but I'm about to go up there, so see you later.
I was just
And
okay.
the music starts kicking off, and then the announcer starts with, all right, to start walking down the aisle, we have Amanda Reckonwick in a lovely silk nightie. And we have this person in drag walking down the aisle, just looking through all shoulders. Bow, booty shot, walking down. Hey, that was fierce. Give it up. Next down, we have Dixie Norris in this beaver costume, looking mighty eager. And we have this person walking down, strutting in this full shoulder pads out to here, fur outfit with a giant quilted tail going on. It's that was great! Next up, we have, it's a newcomer! Give it up for Ricky Regal! Guessing you're going to be stumbling down stage at this point.
Yeah, so, Ricky, I guess he wouldn't even have had time to take off his armor, so he's quick. So while he was waiting in line, he was quickly trying to repurpose his armor into a nice fashion dress. So it's a bunch of stuff are just randomly taken off, and he's trying to he took off a lot of his arm plates and his chest plate stuff, but he still has his leg plates on, so it's kind of this weird clingy type costume thing. And he's just he's trying his best to like imitate the people who walked before, but he's not doing it nearly as good. Just like Vogue maybe, and then poses, and then walks back down the catwalk.
An interesting take, not usual, but we have a knight in shining armor. And another in the announcement is like, slay me, daddy! It's like, okay, next up we have, our performer, Gary Beekman in her stunning black sequin gown. And Gary starts going into her, feathered and hairy. It's like, oh, darling. And, walks back. And it's like, okay, next up we have another newcomer from the academy. It's Sunny.
It's who? You broke up.
After one of the other performers, it's Sunny, and I think one of the other performers is like starts shoving you out on stage.
Sunny? Yes, Sunny? It was hard to hear.
Yeah, you were breaking up.
Okay. Yes. Sunny casts.
Again, is it getting bad for pretty much everything?
It's.
Yeah.
I think I think we're all introverts. It's bad most of the time, and like I don't know. I don't want to keep bringing it up. It's like we can work with it, but it's pretty much consistently like real body.
Yeah. Sorry.
Video.
It's good. It's good. Please stay.
Is that sounding better?
It was.
Okay.
It's okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So Sunny casts. Sunny is very inebriated, but she has done this many times and can do it like on the verge of blacking out. She casts Minor Illusion to create a 5x5 cloud of smoke around herself. While she's in the smoke, she takes her black jacket that everyone's seen her wear and turns it inside out, revealing the red and yellow striped interior that is her performing outfit back home. She blasts out of the smoke wearing that jacket and starts doing an acrobatic routine. This is the part where she maybe has trouble with, but normally she's pretty good at doing these back springs.
Woo! I know her.
Oh, Killer Bees on the Swarm! Get it!
As she's doing that backstage, light on the top and bottom of my viol, my bow, and my arcane staff. So I've got 6 points of light as I do get ready. Sorry.
Up, you know him, you love him, it's Ida slapped him! And then it's somebody walking out in a literal, like, giant costume, and then claps, and then turns around and bows, like, facing away from the crowd, and, like, their whole back is sticking out of the costume, and then just, like, walks away again. And then he's like, okay, and a new and interesting take, something we haven't seen before, is patio furniture in this modern take in a green beige biner sable glock cyber goth dress. Interesting. And then she kind of walks out and it's like kind of like very highly reflective, like vinyl, kind of scrappy, like it looks like it's 3 pieces, but it's only 1 piece. They're all connected. And then like there's little bits of what's that, like asphalt stuff to the dress. And then she kind of poses and like puts up in the umbrella before sauntering back. Like, okay, and then next up we have another newcomer from this academy. It's Tegan Picaresca.
Okay, so as I'm walking out, I reread that I can only do one light at a time. So I'm going to do a blue light because I can color it on the top of my staff because that thing is going to be twirling. Because one hand is on the top of the vial, the other hand is on the staff, so I cast Mage Hand. And then because thaumaturgy is verbal only, I'm going to be muttering under my breath as if I'm chanting or singing to be constantly doing other sounds to accompany both the music that's playing and the music that I'm playing. As I walk down, I am doing the strut, I'm twirling my arcane staff, I do a few poses, including a few rather suggestive ones of like pole dancing with my arcane staff. And that's my skit. I mean, I've got thaumaturgy and Mage Hand helping me with my music. And
I know her too.
And after I get backstage, I'm basically just going to walk to
next up we have another academy.
go casters for the win and try to go for a high five.
Y'all high-five each other as you pass because she is up next. And the announcer says, next up we have another Academy local, Susan Crushbone. Third time to the party. First time on stage, give it up. And she has usual furs. Oh, sorry, you said Sunny Edge. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, just clapping. We love Susan.
Yeah. She has her furs on, but there's just like extra layers. She has just like extra furs around her vest, and just like the one cloth part is hiked up a little extra high. She's showing a little extra leg, and she's got 2 stripes of war paint on under the eyes, and she's got her hair up and just like the highest of top knots. And she's got just like a giant war hammer, and she kind of like not very gracefully, just like kind of saunters down the stage, slams the hammer down the stage, and kind of works into it before putting it back behind her and putting her butt on it and just like dragging it behind her before like walking back off stage, just like, oh, fierce, yeah. Last up, no, not second to last up, we have, this is Sarah Tonin. Always love when she comes around. And she comes out and she's wearing like this tassel dress that's like nothing but tassels, red tassels, like over the whole face, over the whole like shoulders. And just like almost looks like if Cousin It was made out of red tassels instead of blonde. So basically just taking a whole bunch, just like, looks like, somebody's trying to sell a digital effects program, just like, look at how many hairs we can just like shake and just like does that whole routine up and down the stage before. It's like, oh, I just love to see her work. And last but maybe least, we have Miss Chloe Aka, and bird is the word with this ensemble. Look at the feathers on her, and she walks out and she's kind of moving her neck around. She's just like feathers sticking out from everywhere. She turns around, she's got like the biggest like peacock dormant, just like crowning her tailbone. And I think Professor Wick, the Kenku professor, is like right like at the edge of her seat, like at the end of the catwalk, just like watching this like and with that, that's the last performer. And it's like, okay, we've had a fierce catwalk this year. I'm glad everybody came out and struck this. Thank you for watching. And I think the music is still bumping and people are still having a good time. That is the
catwalk section, and all y'all adrenaline flowing. Everybody summon Ricky to another Constitution saving throw.
That I fail. I fail by a lot.
Bequest rolled a 20. Still partying hard.
I got a total of 3.
Manu got a 17.
Okay, so Bequest.
Got 20.
Yeah, Tegan, you are, after the excitement of that, you're still partying and hyped up. I think it's just like all gone to you, and it's just like excitement. It's like, ooh, did I just all of a sudden not recognize half these people? Or did a whole flood of new people just start showing up out of nowhere? Like, who are these strange people with faces kind of blurring out of distortion? And like, my brain feels like a peanut that's swirling down the toilet, and I don't know what mine is doing. My eyeballs feel like a blender, and I don't know what is happening with my hands. My hands again. What is this? And yeah, so at this point, that's the catwalk is about the last thing that you remember during this night.
I had like, what, 3 spells running at the same time as I was dancing and catwalking. I'm good with that memory.
At this point, the party is getting loud, a little bit out of control, and even the people that have, up to this part, like, passed all of these escalating Constitution saving throws, and like, have still like, not blocked out yet. Like, even y'all are starting to really, I'm in the building, I'm feeling myself. So the night is really starting to get out of hand. And I think at this point, Gary's kind of got this big steamer trunk that's partway open and is overflowing with different costumes, drag costumes, and other fancy outfits and things that could be worn. And it's kind of going around. It's like, oh, who wants to play dress up? And she is flanked by 2 of the other people that were performing. One person has a set of scissors and a nice straight razors. Like, who's trying to get a fresh cut? And on the other side of her, the more heavily tattooed performers in the catwalk is like, which one of you hunters is trying to make some bad decisions? And at that point, I think Priscilla steps out of her tent and says, I think it's time for me to open my presents.
I wanted to make some bad decisions.
And so I think she starts to go over the table and starts to look at the different gifts and where they came from. You see the different and coming down from one of the trees is a very clutching little present. She says, well, hello, boobs. It's Sir Boobenham. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you came at least.
I'm sad that Adnani didn't come. And then behind the table, kind of stepping out from a clearing in the dark. None of y'all have seen Adnani Spectre in person yet, but y'all have seen a few of the portraits hanging around the academy. You see her step out, and she says, but I have come. Of course I came this time. It's your birthday, and it's your wedding announcement party to this beautiful creature. And then she goes up to Parnilla and gives her a hug. And she says, I'm just so sorry that I've neglected you in the years past, and even when I've been so close, I just couldn't make it. But I'm here now, please forgive me. But yeah, at that point, everybody does black out. And that is where we were going to take our first break. Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I assume
Like,
there's
she had a
that there's
question.
oh. Oh yeah, so I'm assuming the person there's like the tattooed person who asked us bad decisions. Were they offering to give us tattoos? That's just kind of my assumption.
Yeah, they were trying to get tattoos.
Yes. Well, Ricky definitely wants one. Yeah.
They were definitely walking around the parties, drunken people left behind, which is not necessarily responsible. But yeah, that ran a little bit longer than I intended to, so sorry about that. That was the time when I was planning on scheduling our first break. I need to be clean and smoke real quick. Maybe 15 minutes. So
Works for me.
Yeah.
West Coast.
5 after midnight here. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna...
Sound good for everybody?
Yep.
See y'all at 15.
Fucking happy. You really fucking mad.
supposed to subside. Even though you're probably really there. Even if you're really, really sad. It could probably be worse. Just let us sit there for a while. It's okay if it's not going your way. It never was. Don't be like the high. It's probably all covered in lies. I should take my own advice. Even if it hurts, someone's gonna hurt the same. Let the sun dance away the pain. It's gonna be alright. Just do the fucking dance. Even if you start to cry. It's okay. Everything will be alright. Take your time. Hold on something to say. It's okay. It's time to dance away the pain. It's alright. Just do the happy dance. Even if you're not alright. It's okay. Joy is alright. That's alright. Sometimes I just just do it. You will be alright. Keep dancing, even though you don't know. It's alright. Dance, sun will get your nation. Do you find your power hold out a little? 'Cause I'm just a little drunk and I wanna come party with you a little. And I look into your eyes, I can tell that you're high too. That's okay, baby, 'cause I just wanna party with you. 'Cause when we hit the beat, I just wanna party with you all night. Someone wanna hold me 'cause I can't hold my tongue. 'Cause if I get too drunk, baby, then I'm gonna ruin the fun. That's not a problem, it's because I'm sleeping. You're so fly, so fly. You really blow my mind, my mind. Let's not waste any more time. I'll just meet you overseas. We can do it on the plane. I just wanna be with you. I wanna meet you there. Take you to a place that you've never been before. We can just lay on the beach, fall asleep, or maybe meet up in Japan. Maybe we can just hold hands. Let's go get drunk and golden brown. Maybe meet up in Russia. Meet up in Russia. I don't really care who sees. Let's join the Mile High Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I'm gonna ask that on our descent here into Moscow, everybody please put your seatbelts on. Winds are getting a little bit choppy, and there appears to be a shiny black man up there in first class getting some sloppy toppy. He's got all his chains on and a do-rag. Is that Thundercat? What's up, brother?
I feel kind of fly standing next to you. Baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Stay with me and love me through the night. Endlessly. I'ma keep on my chains when I'm making love to you. Hold me close and let me squeeze you tight through the night. But baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Do you like my do-it? Watch me go zoom, zoom. Baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tie the tree? Stay with me and love me through the night. Endlessly. I just wanna know how you feel. Tell me, am I doing it right? I may be covered in jet hair, but I still smell good. Baby, let me know, how do I like in my do-rag? Don't lie to me, let me rock you all night long. I'm trying to impress you, girl.
Still here. I just
How do I look in my do-rag? I'm trying to get
down a couple
intimate.
things.
Let me love you like you've never been before, baby. You don't have to like video games or comic books. Baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Did I tie it right? Did you wear that dress just for me? 'Cause I'm trying to smash. Baby girl, I'm smashing my do-rag. 'Cause it's only right. Do you like the way my ice drips in the light? Baby girl, do you like me in my do-rag? Let me know. Would you let me know? Let me know. Let's make love until we fall asleep. I like the way you feel next to me. Baby, you look so good in this moonlight. Stay with me and love me through the night.
So it looks like everybody's back unless Ricky is not.
Fall asleep.
But if he's not, I still need just 1 second to mark one note down.
Yo.
Looks like everybody's back. I just need. And one note. Okay, I did forget to do two things before y'all left. I meant to have each of y'all needed each of y'all to roll a d12 for me.
Right, 7.
Oh, stay on the book.
Ricky got an 8.
5.
Because got 7.
Minute.
11.
Yeah, Ricky got an 8.
I got Ricky. Bequest, could you re-roll for me, please?
Reroll? Yeah.
Yeah, just Bequest.
That's a 6.
Still
Okay,
below
tight.
us at 5.
And also, could everybody roll a sleight of hand check for me?
Okay.
Is that with the D20?
Mm-hmm.
Or what is
Sunny got 21.
Yeah, with a d20.
Ricky got a 4.
Bequest got a 1.
I managed an 18. Which is
And
insane.
Manu got a 14.
I kind of figured it'd be Sunny. Okay, so after kind of a cacophonous end to a pretty wild and crazy night, y'all start coming to, and I think that it might be probably Manu who wakes up first. Got an itch in your shoulder, and you're feeling really dry chest. You're not entirely sure. You're trying to piece together. You haven't even opened up your eyes yet. Kind of like feeling around, like not sure, like I'm not in my house. Oh wait, I don't live in a house. I live in my academy. Like, where am I even sleeping? You kind of open up your eyes, and you're in the back of this wooden kind of horse-drawn cart, and you kind of try to feel around, and you're a little bit restrained. Your movement, you're not wearing what you remember wearing the night before, and you kind of try to look down and around, and kind of bending forward is not really an option. You kind of look at your shoulders, and you think you're wearing that. You kind of look up and kind of feel there's these big noodles on top of your head. You kind of bend them over, and you think you're wearing that hand costume that somebody was wearing on the catwalk. Somebody was wearing a giant hand walking down the stage. So you kind of wake up, and you still got like this kind of burning itch in your shoulder. You're not sure where you are because you think you recognize the cart as the same cart that the professors rode up to the Glen last night, but the Glade, but the horses are nowhere to be found. The front end of the cart seems to be pretty smashed in. Same with the wheels, and your other fellow students appear to be sleeping there. They're also not wearing the same clothes that they had partied in the night previously. You do.
I'm gonna do I have to crawl over anybody to get out of here? To get out of the back of the cart?
Probably. You're towards the front of the cart, and I'd say the attire that you woke up in is not conducive for stealthing or for movement of any kind, I'd say.
All right, I'll just kind of tumble over the side and land on the ground. And I'll just use the cart to help me get up. And first thing I'm gonna do is take off the stupid costume.
Okay.
Because as a
I was
turtle,
going to say you're just going to be naked under there, but you're a turtle, so
yeah, I'm a turtle, so I don't really need clothes. I don't typically wear clothes. I'll just kind of like can I like you said something about my shoulder? Like can I see what that is now?
it's got a like burning itch to it. I mean, it's kind of hard to look at your own like neck and shoulder area, but kind of you kind of the morning after your brain's not working really well, you're kind of like a dog chasing its own tail. I think you spin around in a circle.
Gotta sneak up on it.
Before I think you catch a corner of it, and it appears to be freshly ink skin, black ink, and the marks. I don't know if you've said if you have tattoos, but as a sailor, I'm sure you're not a stranger to them. You probably know what freshly tattooed skin looks like.
Yeah, Manu doesn't actually have any tattoos, but other people have. But he kind of notices the little bit, and he goes, "That's never happened before." And I'll reach into the cart, and like whoever I touch first, I'm just gonna like grab him and shake him awake.
I don't know how to resolve who you grab first, but say Tegan is wearing this really nice black sequined gown you recognize as the same sequined gown that Gary was wearing when she was doing her number. And Manu reaches over the side of the cart and shakes you awake.
Wake up! I don't know where we are.
When we stop moving, Oh, what?
Just close your eyes. It'll be all right.
Okay, good night.
No. Where's Ricky?
My final save was a 3. My final save was a 3.
I'll try and wake up Ricky.
Oh.
Okay, Ricky is there, and he is wearing the feathered outfit of Miss Chloe Aka. The nicely butt-adorned plumage around the tail feathers. Just, seems to be snuggled up against one of the wheel wells, just like looking like he's having a real nice snoozle.
Oh, my head.
Is the sun fully out, or is it still kind of sun up, or like what? Relatively, what time of day is it?
Seems to be late morning. You're not entirely sure, but it's been morning. It's definitely not early morning.
Oh.
Do we all wake up in the same physical condition that was described with the feeling in the chest and the back of the neck and whatnot you were saying?
No, not
Okay.
only. So far, it's just been Manu.
Oh.
Just watch your eyes.
It's you just hung over. Just watch your eyes.
You should be able to walk.
I mean, yeah, definitely soreness in the throat and typical like hungover, those types of feeling. Yes, all of you are feeling that, but so far, kind of an itching, burning, and finding residents of newly tattoo. Manu is the only one that's found such a thing so far.
Oh, that's what that was.
But yes, all of you are feeling pretty rough the next morning.
This is entirely my fault. I forgot to hydrate. I didn't eat anything. I just went straight to the bar.
Are y'all going around waking up your other two snoozing? I think
Yeah, of
Bequest
course.
and Sunny, you're probably I think the rest of your gear, I think your shields and any of your backpacks and stuff are probably bundled up in one of the corners of the cart, and I think Sunny and Bequest are probably both up in that corner, kind of just dozing off, and he is wearing that entirely made out of tassels outfit that what was her name? Miss Serotonin was wearing, and Bequest is wearing the fur outfit that Susan Crushbone was wearing. And
Yes,
you look
yes, you are.
at
Pervert.
and she has a glorious, Sunny has a glorious dark dark brown mustache on her face.
Oh. Hey, guys. Wake up.
No.
We
have to.
woken up. We just do not want to get up.
There could be bugbears out here.
We don't have
Speaking of-
glass, right?
I think I'm wearing the outfit from a bugbear. This would need taken in a bit for me.
Bequest just kind of looks down and frowns and then
Owlbear,
like
but
kind
yeah.
of laughs and is like, haha, right. Laughs and is like, haha. So, where are we?
Taking in your surroundings, I mean, you're not locally like super aware of the area, and you don't have a guide on hand. You're not in the same spot that you were partying the night before. You were all woken up in this cart. The front end of this cart is kind of smashed a bit, and the wheels are kind of also smashed. It seemed like the horses that were pulling this cart seemed to have become dislodged from the rigging and seemed to have run off. But you could certainly inspect around the cart, seem to try to get your bearings, see if you could track or try to find your way back, or what else you could see around it.
I'm going to put my basic traveling clothing and armor back on before I do any tracking or figuring anything out. And I'm probably going to polish off a decent chunk of my water skin.
I've actually got nothing on me. We were going to a birthday party.
Bequest pulls out their pipe out of their pack and kind of lights up and takes a puff and is like, well, horses don't sound like a bad idea, and goes to kind of wander off and look for the horses.
Sunny's like, oh my god. I used to be in.
Make an investigation check.
Oh. Nope. Let's see. 19.
I think the investigation check is for Bequest because she's looking for the horses.
I didn't roll. Never mind.
Investigation, just D20
Yeah,
and then anything added.
Yeah, int, and then if you're proficient in.
Investigation modifier.
Let's see. Where
Yeah,
is
if you're
the-
proficient in investigation.
Where's
It would
the
be
heck
under-
in investigation? Nope, I have no perfect. Well, let's see. I have +1 intelligence, but not for investigation. So is that just straight what I rolled?
Then just a straight roll. Then yeah.
Okay, I rolled a 12.
Or, no,
It would be +1.
Your wisdom modifier. Wisdom modifier, but not your proficiency.
It's
intelligence for investigation.
Or yeah, intelligence.
Okay,
but
so
not
then I roll a 12 +1, so 13.
Okay, you definitely don't track down the horses, not being a ranger or that being any sort of your background. It just seems like, horses ran off. That sucks. I wonder if they're over there grazing. They're not over there grazing. I wonder if they're over there grazing. They're not over there grazing. Well, shit. You kind of start looking around the cart, but you do kind of see that for a bit of a ways there is pretty clearly some tracks in the mud going off in one direction. You could see like your cart had hit a tree, and then you could pretty visually see like our wagon wheels are here. There's some lines in the mud. You could tell like our accident happened here and it came from that way. Maybe.
How many horses? Okay.
You would have
So
seen when the professors came up this wagon was pulled
Yeah,
by
so-
2 horses.
So even if we found the horses, unless we could also repair their wagon, like we can't triple up on the horses.
Right.
Some of us could just walk.
Wait. How? Well, no, it's way too badly damaged. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, you talking about the cart?
Yeah,
Yeah, I doubt we could hitch the horses back.
yeah. Well, I was thinking I have amongst my entire book of cantrips. If you guys hadn't figured out what I did with my last level, I do also have mending, but that's for small breaks and tears, not like the axle snapped off. That's a very different spell, much higher level. So,
Ricky just kind of
I feel like
stretches
that
his
was a
legs out.
conversation early on in campaign 2 of Critical Role.
Ricky just kind of stretches his legs. He's like, well,
I mean, there does seem to be a clearly indicated backtrack y'all could follow for a bit. Otherwise, being hungover and gosh, did we get in a high fantasy car accident in the woods? Did we
A high
DUI
fantasy
in
drunk
a
driving
high fantasy car
horsing.
accident in the woods?
I think we could just say under the influence driving, since there's
Yeah.
way more than just
Mhm.
alcohol involved in last night. Says the alchemist. But so Tegan's just kind of look around and like, so who wants to take the lead on figuring out getting out of here?
Well, looks like we can just follow this trail back. Hopefully shouldn't be too hard. And then Ricky kind of takes off walking.
Yeah, I'd like to get back just because I don't know how good a rogue I'm gonna be if I have this like red tassel uniform thing for the rest of the campaign. I might keep it, but I think I need something else too.
Well,
To be clear, all of your gear that you
Yeah.
had last
Oh,
night
okay.
was in your
Got it.
backpacks and stuff in the cart.
Cool.
So if you needed to change or whatever, you could. But you
There's
look
just
fabulous.
a bunch of naked professors running around somewhere.
yeah, I mean, my armor's worked into my clothing, so I'm kind of glad it's there.
I'm gonna like grab Ricky and just kind of shake him and be like, "Hey, what's? Tell me it looks good. I don't want to like Mike Tyson this up and it's just
Oh no! It looks great, man. Really,
What is it?
the tattoo.
No, but what's the tattoo?
Oh right.
Dude, what's yours?
that's exactly what I thought of.
Sonny, when you woke up, you also had like kind of a burning sensation in the side of your neck.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Probably.
Okay.
What is the tattoo,
Temp-
by the way? On
resistant temptation to. You're allowed to flavor that how you want. So
Okay.
maybe, oh shit, somebody, I'll say for the sake of this, there's a mirror in the cart, and you hold it up and tell me what you see.
I kind of.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Oh, I kind of want to see if I can like roll for it somewhere, so I don't decide it.
If you want me to decide it for you, I can.
Yeah, you decide for me, because Sunny, like, soberly would never get a tattoo as a, like, thief. It's like a mark, a distinguishing mark, you know? So
Yeah,
this is definitely like a bad decision kind of
Okay,
thing.
it's very similar to like laugh not now, cry later kind of
Oh.
theatrical masks type thing. But the mask, while they are kind of stylized in that theater masks, they are unicorn-esque with the horns and kind of in each other.
Cool. Hey, so, yeah.
Mine'll be the swirl that ends in the big wave, the symbol of the god I follow. So at least I didn't make too bad a decision.
I have the duality of unicorns.
Be a great band name.
Yes.
I think it's like right after Ricky's like, oh, this path shouldn't be too hard to follow. Y'all are walking down this path following these muddy wagon wheel tracks that it's like literally right then that you hit a patch of grass and there's not really mud to follow anymore. So you're kind of just wandering for a little bit. Who do you think is taking point at this point? Is it you, Ricky?
Sorry. Oof, I thought I was about to sneeze. Probably Ricky's survival is like +1, I think. So I don't know if whoever has a higher survival roll than +1 should probably be the one taking point.
I can probably take the lead here.
Okay. And I will be helping you like
Go ahead.
as much as I possibly can.
Playing like some nice.
Well,
Go ahead and,
motivational speech for bardic inspiration. I'll give you guidance, and I'll actually be helping you, because I am proficient in survival also.
And bardic inspiration's a D6.
Bardic
Okay,
inspiration is
go
a
ahead and,
D6. Guidance is a D4.
You advantage too.
Yep. Alrighty.
There's a lot of modifiers.
Yeah.
18 total. Not great rolls.
I mean, that's a lot. But that's almost 20.
Yeah.
It's
almost so I think y'all are walking down this path trying to find these just following these muddy wagon tracks, and you hit a patch of grass and kind of a wall in front of you, kind of a cliff wall in front of you, and you're like kind of searching around the grass trying to find tracks. And I think Tegan comes up with her viol and her inspiration and all her other help that she's able to give. It's like, I don't know. What if we didn't come down this way? What if we just like did some really whack shit on our way down here. And I think you're maybe like a little disbelieving, like there's only like we could have came from that way or that way, and you're not really seeing tracks that came from either of those directions. And then you like kind of look up and like you recognize these like bits of silk hanging down from the short, maybe 15 feet up. I mean, it might be an overstatement to call it a cliff, but you'd have to scramble up a little bit. Get up, you recognize these silk fabrics from the party you were at last night. Priscilla's tent was made out of this, and this fabric was covering some of the trees and other stones around that area, kind of decorative fabric. You deduce that you must have, Mad Maxed off this cliff at some point, gone over the trail entirely and slammed down in the mud and kind of Tokyo drifted for a while before hitting a tree and then coming to a complete stop.
It was at this moment that the Duke boys realized
it
they
doesn't
were in
require a strength check or athletics check or anything, but y'all could probably clamber up that hill and pretty easily without the need to roll anything and see there's a pretty clear trail of silk fabric and debris kind of leading this meandering trail through the woods, kind of disappearing between the trees back in the direction that you came.
Wow.
Yeah,
We were all types of fucked up, huh?
well, at least we know which way to go.
Yeah. But guess let's keep moving. Yeah.
Is there anything around us, like are like more of the twig people?
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, they have that hiding in plain sight feature. So, unless they chose to jump out at you, you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't see them at first.
Just
the needle
could I-
points.
every time we see
Do
it, like
you want to make a perception check? Go for it.
Yeah, just for anything really, but most recently we were attacked by blights, so that's what I'd be most looking for, but just anything in general.
and if we see a particularly suspicious looking bush, we're just gonna like give it a little tap.
Just kill bushes. 20 total.
Okay. Looking around, you're kind of trying to look through the trees. It's kind of pretty dense and pretty close together in here, so you can't see very far out in any one particular direction. You're not seeing, as you might have remembered, I think Susan said something about first attack. She remarked that birds dead plants, and that shouldn't be the thing. That's probably what you're looking for, and you're not seeing anything that is popping out to you as like dead or decaying. You're not seeing anything that's looking out of place. But you are, I imagine, still kind of, it's almost like a, yarn trail back to base camp of these silk threads and scraps of fabric kind of weaving in between these trees. I imagine you're following through that. You want to use that same perception check to see what you might see along that trail. Anybody else want to check or investigation check to see what they might find along that trail?
I'll roll on it. I'm not sure what my investigation.
Ooh, not good.
I got a 12.
6.
Logan's mic is muted.
Sorry. Yeah, Ricky got a 19.
Because
Oh,
rolled a
that's
5.
So I imagine with those roles, Lieben and Manu are probably up front, being most vigilant. Manu was probably looking most around, trying to be most aware of, you know, seeing potential enemies, blights or otherwise, on
Yeah,
the ground in the trees.
If Ricky sees
I
a bush
think,
that's even any even somewhat suspicious, he's just going to immediately smack it with his sword, just to be safe.
Why is that bush alone?
It's like, this doesn't look like a good place for a bush.
Bush looked at me funny. Are you still high?
I think Ricky and Manu, Ricky, you see this first item I'm dropping into in-game handouts. You also see this, but Manu, you are the first person to spot this one. The second one, which has not loaded yet. I believe. Does anybody speak Celestial? I know Ricky does.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope.
I could cast comprehend languages if no one spoke it, but since someone does, I wouldn't.
So, Manu, you notice both of these items. Ricky, you only notice the first one. You, Ricky, recognize the language it's in. You, while you're walking, kind of following this trail of different silks, and there's also just debris of, it looks like maybe on this cart's ride out of where you were, like maybe the corner of the cart had snagged the corner of one of the tents and just like dragged it halfway through the forest and just strewn its contents like along the ride, and you're just like finding bits and pieces of it. But you see these two items in specific. Do you do anything with them? Do you pick them up?
Yeah.
Do you specifically try to read that first one?
Of course I try to read it.
Yeah, I'd give him the second one too, because I don't know this language. It looks upside down and backwards. Upside down and backwards.
Well, if there's one thing adventuring school taught me, it's to interact with anything that looks like it might be relevant to the plot.
And now you are cursed. Congratulations, your teachings have failed you.
Oh, it looks like it's a letter to Priscilla. It's a letter. The first one, anyway. The first one, anyway. Um. Aw. It looks like she's having problems with her sister. Here, so, do you want me to just like read it out loud, or?
I need that drama. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, what's it say? What's it say?
All right.
I don't have an NPC in the scene to see this, but somebody needs to see it. I need that hot goss.
Dear Priscilla, I don't know how to say this because I know it will hurt, but I must inform you that our family is cutting off all ties with you after receiving the announcement of your plans to marry the Kyrin, Kiran, that you've been seeing.
You said it right the first time.
Kyrin? Okay. You do realize that she's not a real unicorn, right? You've always been the least observant of our family. I know it was nearly 1,500 years ago that you were transported to the prime material realm from the Feywild, and that you've been missing home ever since then. I must come clean. Your banishment from our realm all those years ago has been seen as a blessing in disguise by us. Your self-centered and eccentric ways have always brought shame to our family, and we tolerated you out of a sense of familial duty. But your sudden relocation to the prime material realm after that stupid spell cast by those mortals, it was like a burden taken away from us. But still, we kept in touch all those years because you were family. We stayed quiet about your boggles and your fascination with mortal obsessions, and your many, many other bizarre quirks that we've shamefully tolerated over the years. This one is the last straw. Even for you, this is too strange. Marrying a Kyran, really? Celestial she may be, but she is not from the Feywild, and she's definitely not a unicorn. You've really taken it one cloven hoof too far this time, sister. I have to inform you that your siblings and your elders will accept no further contact from you. And if it should ever pass that you do find a way to break the ties that keep you burdened to the prime material, you no longer have a home with us in the Feywild. Your sister, Pedwina. Wow. The family seems kind of toxic.
Harsh.
She
Yeah.
deserves a whooping for down talking boggles.
Yeah. And I'm also just like out of character. We're going to shame the unicorn for marrying a Kyrin, and it's just like that seems like a huge trade up to me, but out of character. But in character, I'm pretty sure I don't know what none of that meant.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant, but juicy, harsh. Glad to hear it. Hate to hear it.
Wait, so Parnilla's not a unicorn?
No. Apparently.
Oh,
Apparently it's a Kyrin.
yeah.
What is that?
I barely know what a unicorn is.
Right?
Kyrin or Kilin, depending on what language you want to use, are massively powerful celestials with huge cleric casting and how do I put this? If what a unicorn is to a horse, a Kyrin is to a unicorn. Like they are just a mass. You know, the unicorn is a standard horse. A Kyrin is Princess Sparkle. Okay. You're over here planting apples. I'm playing sports with the moon. They're a big deal. That's out of character knowledge, though. Out of character knowledge. So
Was that just the one letter?
No, it was also this
The one letter?
page. It looks like a page from her journal of her reacting to the letter, and I didn't think I should read it because it seemed so personal, but I read it anyway.
Well, if you read it,
well,
it's only fair with everyone else.
Okay. Dear
Yep.
Diary.
13.
Dear Diary. I am at a loss what to do. I'm so fucking sad. I'm supposed to be happy, and I am because I'll be marrying the most wonderful person in my life. I just wish my family could be happy for me too, though. I never got a letter from my family before I sent out Parnilla and my wedding announcements, and what I got in return was nothing short of depressing. A scathing reply from my sister where she basically told me I've been cut out of the family. She didn't use Parnilla's name once, and kept calling her the Chiron, like I didn't know what she is. What's worse is that I think she actually has a point. I kind of am the worst unicorn ever. I'm so self-obsessed that I don't know what's going on in my own forest half the time. This letter from my sister just got me so angry and depressed that I think something terrible has happened, something I didn't even think was possible. I think that my spirit tree, my spiritual connection to the Feywild, I like how she clarified that in her journal for herself. I think that I've corrupted it somehow, and now some sort of blight is spreading, and has started to affect some of the other plants in the forest I'm supposed to protect. I don't know what to do about it. My birthday party's coming up soon, and that's always supposed to be the event of the year. And this year is doubling as Pernilla and my wedding announcement party, and I just don't have any time to do anything but put on a pretty face because the show must go on. I really do gotta get my shit together and get on top of this before this gets out of hand. Can't let my family be right about me. Well, I think that settles it. We gotta help out Priscilla.
Well, her family is right about her, but yeah, we should help her.
I mean, obviously, whether or not the family is right is, I mean, she's trying. The letter from the sister, she's trying to act like Priscilla is such a useless idiot that she doesn't even notice the species of her spouse. Then you have the secondary comment there that clearly says she is fully aware the whole time. So, yeah, I don't think her family's entirely in the right here.
But yeah, her family's clearly very toxic.
Oh yeah.
Well,
And now Priscilla has become slightly like her family in that she's somehow corrupted her plant thing.
Yep. Maybe.
So we need to figure this out. Or help. Or get someone to figure it out. I don't know. It's been a long night.
Maybe we could talk to her and hopefully that could solve things. Or wasn't there that one professor that she really wanted to come to her party but that wasn't able to make it?
But she did show up.
Yeah, that was the headmaster.
The
and
director.
Oh, right.
did show up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you think we should maybe talk to her, see if she's in the right headspace?
That doesn't sound like a bad idea, except for one major problem. Have you figured out where we are?
That's
Also, we may have
fair.
stolen the tent with the cart.
That's all fair.
Yeah, is any of our
as y'all
surroundings
are
look familiar now that we're on a
kind
cliff?
of following the trail. No, not familiar at all. You were kind of like in this glade clearing area, and the hill was mounded up a little bit, and there's some stonework ruins and like some trees and like a big central tree that was just everything was just surrounded in silk, and then towards the back where the catwalk was and behind that was a big silk tent, but all around that was just pretty thick forest, and it seems like you're in the thick of that, and there's kind of no real recognizing this, that from the other. You're kind of somewhere and kind of know nothing for it but to hope that this trail of silk and debris is leading you back into the right direction. Does anybody want to make another perception check?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will make
5.
18.
Guidance myself on this. And then look around. Oh, wow. Wow.
Ricky got a 12.
Bequest got 5 again.
I got, let's
Monty,
see,
you
20.
see kind of tangled up 22.
I got a
25.
25. Thus the oh wow.
Tegan, actually, you see kind of before anybody else, it's kind of glinty and rhinestoned, very bejeweled, very 2006 Claire's Gifts, tucked in, kind of tangled up with the silk fabric that you've been following. What looks to be a journal that has 2 kind of interlaced P's on the cover. And lower down, kind of, it has a subtext that says, "Don't read. No, seriously, it's private. Don't fucking read it. Don't even fucking open it.
Open it and read it.
Please return to Priscilla."
Gotta read it.
Please return to whom?
Ricky, you take it from. Please return to Priscilla. Ricky, are you trying to take it from Tegan so you can open it and read it?
Ricky. So Tegan already has taken it, so Ricky can see it then.
So you'd see me picking it
Well,
up.
Tegan has found this on the ground. Yeah. So yeah, you say you want to open it and read it immediately. Are you trying to grab it from Tegan, or are you asking Tegan to open it?
No. After Ricky sees the journal and sees it say what it says, he's like, read it, open it and read it to Tegan. Read it.
I would rather not, just because as someone with a lot of magic myself, I never know if someone's going to have trapped it. But if you want to open it and read it, I'll be away from you when you do that.
Say less. And Ricky takes the journal.
And yeah, I actually will get several feet away from him, like 10, 20 feet away.
I'll get closer because I really do want to see what's in this like right away.
So he just kind of looks around.
Okay, so read on the cover. It says very clearly, don't read. No, seriously, it's private. Don't fucking read. Please return to Priscilla. And you're in the binding, anyways. And Ricky and Sonny are scooched up right next to each other, and you're cracking the binding.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do this to help Priscilla. Then he opens it. So it's reading.
Please explosive runes. Please explosive runes.
Ricky and Sonny take dexterity save throws.
Okay. Ricky got an 8.
15.
Oh, I'm so happy right now.
Okay. A voice booms out, and actually all of you could hear this. It says,
What part of fucking private don't you understand? And Ricky, you take 3 damage. Sunny, you take 1 damage.
Tegan is just laughing right now.
Psychic damage. Psychic damage specifically. I don't know if anybody has resistance.
No.
But yeah, Sunny
Tegan-
manages to kind of dive out of the way when the voice starts booming and winds up taking half damage.
Tegan has such a I am trying so hard not to say I told you so look on her face right now. Like
Wait,
it requires no insight to tell.
So what happened with the letter though? Like
With the diary, the cover snaps shut.
damn.
Ah.
Okay.
Just open it again. It's okay.
I kind of want to open it again.
Don't do it.
No, I don't think I would.
What if we tried it with a mage hand?
Yes, Sunny's so into this.
Like,
Absolutely.
We lay the book down and back up a few feet.
Because Tegan was 20 feet away, right? And Mage Hand works from 30 feet.
Yeah.
So Tegan was okay.
All right.
we just gotta like.
Gonna put the journal on the ground and back up a good 30 feet and cast Mage Hand to open it and see what happens.
I think you all hear the same. What part of fucking private don't you fucking understand? And then again, Mage Hand only can lift 10 pounds, right?
Correct.
But it was laying on the ground, and I just used Mage Hand to open it while
cover
laying on the ground.
snap shut again.
Okay.
The cover
We
snap
tried.
shut again.
So it's in a book form, and it's the cover that snaps shut. Yes.
You're really trying to read her diaries, right?
Yeah, I had.
Well, but when it opened the second time, the booming voice didn't come out, or did it?
It did.
It came out.
It was the same as
times.
before.
And I didn't say exactly the same thing both times, but in game it said the same thing both times.
Okay.
All I heard was read me.
Read me that text. Could help, but I don't want to.
Y'all scooping that up and taking it with you, or are you still trying to solve the conundrum of none of your business?
At this point, I am not touching it anymore.
Just put it in the pack.
Yeah, we'll figure this out at maybe like level 3. We'll get this one open.
Okay.
Get some new spells.
Level 5 dispel magic. We will eventually read this diary. Okay. So
Continuing to walk down this
are
art
still
trail path.
kind of almost like a lasso, kind of just following this trail of busted tent silks and different things. And you do finally make your way to where it does start to look familiar. And there's more kind of rips up bit of silk and kind of upturned tables and, scattered, it's high fantasy, so it's not red Solo cups, but empty drink containers, different, the remnants of a party, just kind of scattered. It seemed like just all kind of everything that's not immediately looks like it was naturally grown here, kind of just like pushed out of this clearing and almost kind of like swept under the rug, kind of like into the thicker parts of the trees. And you get to the clearing, to the Priscilla's glade, where her spirit tree is, and you can see I'm making Lavender Woods -2 visible now in tabletop. You can see I wouldn't be so dramatic as to say it's like unrecognizable. You were there in the daytime, the day before it got dark. It's just like everything was kind of like wrapped in silk and a little more neatly presented, and there was tables laid out and refreshments and big nice tent before, but now it's like kind of anything unnatural has been kind of into the woods, and the bare stone is exposed, and you're kind of walking out into this clearing, and what do?
Is there anything immediately noticeable about this tree that makes it seem like sickly or anything?
When you're immediately stepping out,